Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Way of the Cheetah. This is a National Geographic documentary. It's from 2022, so it's not that old. It's 44 minutes long, and it goes by pretty quickly, believe it or not. It's a bit more dramatic than your usual documentary kind of thing. It's not a dry kind of, and I'm going to mean that in two ways. You'll find out very soon. It's not a dry. Sure, it's educational. It's not academic in a sense. You do learn a lot about the ways of the cheetah, how they get along. You see a pack of 5 males that work together sometimes to take down prey, everything from a small little gazelle type thing to a wildebeest. And by the way, this one is bloody. It is really bloody compared to a lot of the other stuff. Like I said, they're more clinical, more academic stuff. They're fairly bloodless, fairly. This one, there's a lot of red, okay? So if you're squeamish about any of that kind of thing, this is not going to be for you. It is really, really bloody comparatively. I mean, it's not a John Wick film or anything, but you know what I mean. It's and then there's also another cheetah that's featured in this. Her name is Imani for the purposes of this structured story. And it's a female, and she has like 4 cubs, one of which is a male, and he's a bit of a troublemaker. You know, again, they kind of create a story in a sense to sort of structure, give you a frame of reference for what they go through, rather than going, here's mom cheetah, here's kids cheetah, and they eat or they don't, and stuff happens. And yeah, it's circle of life. Speaking of which, you'll recognize the voice of the person narrating this, again, very dramatically presented story. It's almost like the dialogue written by the creators of this. I think it's a husband and wife team. I'm not really sure. They have the same last name. Could be brother and sister. I don't know. Jacoby. I can't bring it up on IMDb properly because you can't seem to find it for some reason. I have to go other ways, and I just couldn't bring it up on here. Either way, it's. It's very flowery, emotional, descriptive language. Like I said, not very dry. It's pretty intense. And along with the music and everything else, it has these dramatic pauses, of course, where the commercials would go, cliffhanger type moments. What would the little cub do? That kind of situation, but not in a reality show kind of cheesiness at all. Because the person you might recognize as the narrator, the only voice you hear in this, other than the roars of lions and other animals being eaten or eating. By the way, cheetahs can't roar. They're the only cat that can't. I learned that. Jeremy Irons is the narrator. You might know, Disney fans will definitely know him as the voice of Scar from The Lion King. So yeah, he would have been more appropriate of him as, narrating a lion type thing, but he might have turned that down. He might have said, you know what, I've been doing enough lion stuff. Give me cheetahs. Give me something else. I have no idea, but it was a good pick because he really he's got a great voice for this, and especially the way the stories are told in this. So yeah, I think he was a perfect pick as narrator. Again, if you're not a documentary person, you're probably not even watching this. It's not going to suddenly change your mind, because not a lot of documentaries are this colorful and intense, I should say. And yeah, it's still, you're not checking out, the latest, it's not a big Star Wars movie or Marvel movie or whatever it is. It's not that kind of drama, but it is still pretty exciting for a documentary, and you kind of you start caring for the little cubs who are adorable. They film this. This is 2022, so they get in there with those cameras. I can't imagine what this might look like in 4K or 8K or however they shot it, but the close-ups, the long shots are just incredible. One of the pet peeves I have with this, though, is the fact that they always say the cheetah is like the fastest land animal. They're just fast. Why are they always shooting them in slow motion? Or at least presenting them in slow motion? I mean, sure, they shoot them at regular speed, but I imagine they might be a blur, and you wouldn't see much. But contrast sometimes. Do the slow motion stuff like you always do, and then show us how fast they are at the same time. Just cut back and forth if you want to. Just give me an idea. I mean, it's just, it just seems like you're bragging on their speed, and we never get to see it. I don't know any documentary really ever does that properly, without looking sloppy, I guess. It would probably expose any camera tricks that they just can't seem to keep up with. Something that fast. But they can keep them in frame when they run it all slow motion, so I don't know. Either way, this is one of the more interesting documentaries out there. There are no shortage of African cat. This is documentaries on Disney Plus, National Geographic. This is part of Big Cats Week on National Geographic Channel originally. So yeah, it's you're not going to find that it's incredibly enlightening or different than just about anything else, but it's still fun. Still fun. Again, fun and bloody. And a good thing to realize that there's less than 7,000 cheetahs left in the world. And that's on a particular continent or maybe scattered around at zoos here and there. So, and their genetics don't really help things, but also lions tend to be a bit more dominant. One of the very first things you see in this is the mom, I think it was the mom cheetah, taking down a small deer-like thing. I can't remember what it was called. Whatever. But let's just call it a deer or a gazelle or whatever. They take it down, the hyenas swoop in, and she's got to choose between keep chowing down or protecting her kids. She backs down. By the time the hyenas start diving in, here come the female lions. And the lions take over everything. And there's other situations where jackals keep trying to sneak in. There's vultures. There's all sorts. Everybody's an opportunist in Africa, basically. And they're trying to take your gazelle. And that's obnoxious because these cheetahs work for this stuff. And you'll see one of the last shots in this is the five males taking down a wildebeest. In every, they latch on in every way possible, and that thing is also in very slow motion, and it's bloody, and they succeed, but that thing is bigger than any of them. Probably weighs more than all of them combined, but they take him down. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, if you're into this kind of thing, this is the kind of thing you can probably show your kids, but get ready for them to be slightly scarred because it's pretty. It is, like I said, it is pretty bloody. So be prepared. Let's pick tomorrow's episode.
271.
271. Just gotta wait for you to say it out loud. Stop. Go away. 271. Oh, geez. That's good. This is good. I should have known where we'd be. We're doing some shorts again, and we're moving back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And yeah, this last weekend we had Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Well, this is not that, but it is one of the bonus things. Actually, I don't know if it was a bonus thing on the DVDs or if it was something that just got put online at a certain time. Because this is actually a two-parter. They are listed separately, I think, on here, but I'm putting them together. I'm watching them together because there's a part 1 and part 2, and this is actually part of the official MCU, even though it is mostly comedy. So, this is Marvel One-Shot Thor, Team Thor, parts 1 and 2. Marvel One-Shot Team Thor, parts 1 and 2. That's with his buddy Daryl, I guess, his roommate. So I can't remember which film this is associated with. It seems like it was prior to Ragnarok, but I don't know. We'll have to see tomorrow. Marvel One Shot, Team Thor, parts 1 and 2, and the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.